employees, a company points to economic conditions. Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals has been named the National League MVP. This is ABC News.
Sail with American Queen Voyages, where history comes alive and discovery runs deep. Enriching adventures await in North America's mighty rivers, Great Lakes, oceans, and expeditions to the wilds of Alaska. Visit American Queen Voyages at aqvoyages.com, cruising North America now. Call 844-744-0794 or contact your travel professional. American Queen Voyages. Discovery runs deep.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
ExxonMobil is proud to support the families of first responders through the Battle of the Brave. I'm Chuck Williams. We supply your high-quality Synergy fuels to 300 local Exxon and Mobil stations from our terminal right here in Lockport, Illinois.
ExxonMobil, proud supporter of Battle of the Brave.
Have you ever wanted to golf some of the most prestigious courses in the world? Well, now you can. At Prairie Bluff Golf Club, Prairie Bluff has 3 new state-of-the-art indoor golf simulators with the latest technology and data to improve your game. Beginning November 1st to March 2023, enjoy indoor golf without battling the weather in our upscale atmosphere. Book a bay by the hour. We currently have 38 golf courses, from Pebble Beach, California to Carnoustie Championship in Scotland. Have fun hitting range balls at the Colonial Club in Fort Worth, Texas, while being close to home. Food and beverages are available, as well as league and private party rentals. Play golf 7 days a week at Prairie Bluff, 19433 Renwick Road in Crest Hill. Visit prairiebluffgc.com for details. That's prairiebluffgc.com.
It's been 9 long months, but high school football is back. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, the proud sponsor of the Pigskin Preview Show, wishing all of our local teams the best of luck in 2022. Only time will tell how many champions we'll crown this year. Speaking of championship teams, if you're looking for a new insurance agency, why not consider the Malloy State Farm team, voted the best of Will County 4 years in a row. Give us a call at 815-463-5800 to hear what a championship team sounds like.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Hurry into Menards and save big money during the last 11% off in 2022. Add style and security with Schlag lock sets. Coordinate the look of your home's decor with complementing finishes and styles. There's no more hiding keys under the doormat or losing track of copies with Schlag electronic locks. Menards carries over 50 styles of Schlag lock sets. All Schlag lock sets are 11% off. Good through November 23rd, savings or mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Tracks USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Manuka at 6:45. And Lockport battles Providence at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis, and high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And good evening and welcome. It is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Wilt County's News Talk Sports. I'm EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Evan Bredesen back on board.
Back. Yeah.
Great to have our guy back here.
Yep.
And we'll be here for the next 2 hours trying to inform, maybe entertain, and who knows whatever's left.
What's over here?
Glad to have you back, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to everybody watching us on YouTube Live right now. Glad to have you aboard. And, we're going to talk IHSA playoffs, Joe, for the next 2 hours. And this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
And, again, our WJOL game of the week is Saturday only, which... outside of Springfield and Monmouth College, there is nothing Friday, but we'll get into that in a minute. Our Saturday game of the week in Class 4A, Providence Catholic, the Celtics, Tyler Plants. They hit the road, Joe. They travel to Wheaton St. Francis to take on the Spartans. That is a 2 o'clock kickoff. Don't go anywhere, Providence and St. Francis fans. We will have both head coach Tyler Plants on around 7:25 and Bob McMillan from St. Francis on at around 7:40 or so. So we will have you taken care of on that game. Also, full guest list, Joe. We're going to go out of the area. We're going to talk to Chad Hetlet. I don't know if we've had Chad on the show before. We might have.
I think we had. I think we did
Yeah,
last
we
time.
have.
Yep.
So we will talk to Chad. Chad will give us the down low on Glenbard West, who will travel to Frankfurt, Joe, to take on Lincoln Way East. And what a great matchup that one is.
Yes.
Also joining us, Alan Thorson from Morris. The Morris Football Club will hit the road, go to Peoria Stadium and take on the Peoria Lions in Peoria. Again, that game, I believe, is a 2 o'clock. Yes, 2 o'clock kickoff on that game. So, again, we'll get the lowdown from Coach Thorson. That's around 6:45. And then, around 6:45. And then, John Ivelo.
Yes.
Will join us, the recently retired, I guess we'll say retired or resigned, head coach of the Bolingbrook Raiders. Of course, if you're not familiar, John was dealing with some various health issues and doing well, but decided to step down. So we will talk to John about his decision. And certainly, Joe, we will talk about his incredible run at Bolingbrook.
Yes.
And, the guys meant so much to that district and that football program in this area and this radio station.
Yes.
And,
for sure.
Again, so looking forward to talking to John and getting the story from him. And we will be here for you for the next 2 hours. If you got a question, we see Weather on the Go's already out there giving us his picks for the weekend. If you're watching us on YouTube Live, we have a little chat feature if you want to send us comments. And if they're not completely disgusted or from one of those icky bad companies, Joe, we'll use it. So, and depending upon how what's the word? Forget it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I'll figure it out later. If I hit the wrong button, they might become part of the show, but hopefully I won't.
Oh.
815-254-7300. If you're going to call, this is the time of the show to get in. Again, as you can tell, we are going to be guest intensive for most of this show. Joe,
First of all, I just want to mention something. Last week, right at the end,
yes, sir.
We said I want to say hello to Rita again tonight.
Hello, Rita.
One of our I guess followers.
Yep.
I mentioned that we'd say hello to her on the show last week because I saw her, and we right at the end we hurried up through, but I want to say hello to Rita.
Yep, always appreciate Rita out there listening, and again, looking forward to. So this is how it works. So obviously this show we survived. Woo-hoo. So we got teams through. Obviously we won't be here Thanksgiving.
Really?
No, we won't.
No, I'll be in a coma.
We've already looked ahead. There's Lewis basketball scheduled for that Thursday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So stay tuned to 1340 WJOL. Check out my message board as well. We will let you know when the final year-end wrap-up show will be on Pigskin Preview. We'll have some awards to give out and just kind of recap the season and hopefully maybe a state champion or two in the studio.
Yes,
so we'll get to that. But stay tuned. We will have that for you. Joe, we'd be remiss not to talk about our friends over in Reed Custer.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I really don't want to, but we
no.
kind of have to.
Boys, if you're listening in the garage, I
Brutal.
salute you guys and your team.
If they're in the garage, I don't think they're drinking beer right now. I think they might have hit the hard stuff because number one, it's cold, and number two,
it's unbelievable.
It's hard. It's just difficult, Coach.
The same thing. It's like Yogi Berra would say, deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
It's just when Reed Custer scored and we had the game on a ticker on a thanks to Daniel Dwyer, and he was talking about Byron's starting to march down. And then when he said, well, they scored with 12 seconds to go, I go, you got to be kidding me again. Got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. The only ending that maybe could have equaled that was the 8-man that we saw Polo.
Oh.
That was spectacular.
4 seconds ago, you're on the 20. You're on their 21-yard line, and you run a sweep.
Sweep toss. Last play of the game. And you score and win the game.
Win the game, yep.
That's why I love high school football. No doubt about it. Thoughts going into the weekend, or really thoughts going into Saturday. I know our guy Matt Now's out there. He is going to be in Sacred Heart tomorrow. Anything he needs to know is lay of the land, concern. Yeah, Matt, get there really early, obviously. Sacred Heart's facility is gorgeous. It's top notch. They did a great job when they renovated it and built it. They built it from scratch. There was nothing there until they finally converted all that land. But parking is in high demand. So it is very, very difficult. You are going to be parking probably as far away from your car there as if you would if they were playing at Memorial Stadium. So, where they used to play, where you would have to park in neighborhoods and just kind of find wherever you could around there. So, yeah, it's going to be jam-packed. But I don't know. You know what? That's interesting. Let's talk about that for a minute. We talked all year about how the crowds have been up.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season, everywhere I've been, Joe, across the state, really good crowds. The moment the cold hit, boom, gone.
Yeah.
Gone. You know where they're at? They're on their damn cell phones, or they're on their laptops, or on their computers watching it at home.
Right.
We've gone round and round on this, okay? In the past.
Yes.
So I don't want to fire up the fan base too much, but you know, and I get the benefits of the live stream and broadcasting it and what have you. I get that there's grandmas and grandpas in Arizona and Florida. God love them for not being here.
They're smart.
They should be double taxed, by the way, if they're watching from those area codes or from those IP addresses. They should automatically be charged double. You know, if you're able-bodied and you're truly a fan, put some coats and hats on and go to the game. It definitely impacts crowd atmosphere. And it just changes. I don't know what the solution is, if there is a solution. Are we too old holding on to our memories of great crowds and loud? And I don't know.
Times have changed.
Yes,
100%. And I definitely agree with you. Times have changed. I noticed you're speaking about the cold. I saw on the site where they were talking about the weather this weekend and the cold.
Okay, I was going to say I take no responsibility what those knuckleheads on that board say at this time of the year. But go ahead.
Somebody happened to mention, I think it was 1991 at Wheaton College.
Yeah.
Joliet Catholic against Wheaton.
It was like ice, right?
Well,
ice bowl.
I was on the staff at Joliet Catholic at that time.
Were you Cowboy Ray then, or no? Cowboy Ray was before that.
Before that.
Okay.
And I'll attest to this. That had to be one of the coldest days I can ever remember. But it was even colder for me because I go up into the press box because I have the headphones. And they go, well, we have no room here. You got to go on top of the press box.
Of course you do.
So they opened up a little trap door, and there was no railing on top of the press box. And the wind is howling. So
it's the early 90s, Joe. That's what everybody
I went to go take the gloves out of my pocket. I put the one
and they fell.
No, it almost blew off the roof. I reached and I grabbed it right before. But the best part of the story is midway through the first quarter, the headset froze.
Like
They couldn't hear me, and I didn't have another set of batteries. So I remember Dave Douglas sent somebody over to the press box with some batteries, and they were still. So I put them in my pocket. I put the battery in my pocket, batteries, so they could warm up. So I didn't get back on the headsets till about the middle of the second quarter.
Unbelievable.
It was so cold.
Yeah, batteries are going to be an issue. I'm already expecting that tomorrow night with my cameras and stuff. So it's just going to be ugly. We'll have to deal with it. But again, yeah, it's been interesting seeing how that has changed this year. And here's the problem. You know, I guarantee the IHSA is making money on this. There's no doubt.
You know it.
We're never going to know how much. You're never going to hear, hey, viewership's way up. Well, the crowds are down. What about the viewership? Well, the viewership's considerably up because they just won't.
And they don't charge $50 to do these games. They charge some big money, especially now that we're in the semifinal.
Quarterfinal, semifinal, the right fees go up.
The rights go up big time.
It's interesting. So we'll see where it goes, but I don't like it. But I guess I'm old man, get off my lawn complaining. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But and again, I know people like it. It's not going away. And my hope is that they meaning the IHSA and NFHS and whatever other entities have their pockets in it, try to improve the product. And I realize that, it's really hit or miss. And the reason it's hit or miss is because every school does it differently.
Yes.
Different Wi-Fi connections. All right. Well, if I'm NFHS, I go out and try to find a corporate sponsor, a Comcast, a Verizon, a somebody that can at least provide these places a consistent wireless connection.
Yes.
So maybe you can improve that and improve your overall product. Outside of that, but honestly, Joe, they're making money already. I don't think they care either way.
Yes.
So we'll see. Again, Saturday, I will be at St. Rita as Mount Carmel takes on St. Rita in 7A. That is TV related. As many of you know, I am doing stuff for Marquee Network. So I've been involved in that all week. Should be a fun game. That game is live on Marquee Network. Don't ask me about streaming. I don't know, and I kind of don't care. My guess is NFHS will have someone out there with a shaky camera bringing it to you, or Marquee will allow them to tap into the broadcast. I don't know what they're doing. And again, Joe, I don't care. And I'm not bitter about it either.
No.
All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. This is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview. When we come back, bring in our old friend, John Ivo. Yes. You are listening to the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
I hope you know what you're doing having your brother cut down this tree.
He's cut down plenty of trees and we saved a ton of money. What could possibly go wrong?
You have anything to say now?
We should have called Homer Tree Service.
Homer Tree Service has been serving Lockport and the southwestern suburbs for over 50 years with 2 generations of experienced, courteous, and certified arborists. Homer Tree offers comprehensive tree care, including expert tree trimming, tree removal, plant health care, and emerald ash borer management programs. Homer Tree handles it all, from pre-construction evaluations to land and lot clearing for site developments. Call the experts at Homer Tree Service today for a free estimate. 815-838-0320. That's 815-838-0320. Homer Tree Service, 14,000 South Archer Avenue in Lockport. On the web at homertree.com. That's homertree.com.
Paid for by government.com.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan silver dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan silver dollar coin was struck for circulation, and now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right, you can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan silver dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks. Guaranteed. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan silver dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan silver dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-917-4635. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Energy scammers really don't like it when we give away their secrets and give you the power to stop them. No!
No! Yeah, right.
ComEd will never call or visit your home or business to sell electricity or ask for immediate payment. And if anyone tries, there's just one thing to do. Nope! You have the power. Learn more at ComEd.com/scamalert. ComEd. Powering lives.
Keeping your vehicle on the road includes preparing for the changing seasons, like taking care of regularly scheduled maintenance. That's a job for Jiffy. Dust off your owner's manual in the glove box. You'll find the suggested intervals for routine services the automaker recommends. Offering preventative vehicle maintenance services, including a quality oil change, the highly trained technicians at Jiffy Lube will keep your vehicle running at top performance. You never need an appointment for any service at Jiffy Lube. For locations and services, go to ChicagolandJiffyLube.com.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Tracks USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Panuca at 6:45. And Lockport battles Providence at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis, and high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach Joe Rodegaro and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. And you know, Joe, we've got plenty of playoff talk to get to, but when this gentleman, when it was announced that he turned in his resignation as no longer the head coach of the Bolingbrook Raiders, well, you know what? Too bad. We're going to talk to our friend.
That's right.
The playoffs can wait, quite simply.
No, it can.
And
Sure can.
so we're going to do that. So, again, welcoming in John Ivelo from, well, formerly, I guess, of Bolingbrook. Boy, John, that just sounds weird. But my friend, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys.
So, man, I honestly, I don't even know where to start. It's you know, it's
21 years ago, or
yeah. I mean, we've been with you for so long, and appreciate so much that you've done for us and for me. You know, first of all, we need to let people know out there, how are you doing?
Yes.
How are you feeling? And that's the most important thing to start with.
I'm feeling great. I was able to come back for the last 2 games of the season, and all the news I've gotten so far is good. I've got one more test I've got to do, and then after that, I should be all done and good to go. But no, I feel great. I'm ready to roll.
John, Edgy will talk maybe more about the coaching type stuff, but I want to get a little personal. And as I've said many times to you, I played, softball with your dad. I've known you since you've been probably 5 years old. But the one thing that I think people in our area don't realize, and I've seen it, how much you care for your athletes. And the interesting things you do behind the scenes that nobody ever knew about. I remember one time I saw you before a game, big game, I think it was against Lincoln Way East, and I walked over by your locker room just to say, good luck and say hello to you, and you're passing out shoes. And I said, and there were boxes of shoes. And I go, you handed out new shoes. He goes, and you said no. I take the shoes from the kids after the game and put them back in the box because some of them may lose them. And we kind of laughed at it, but that's to me that's caring about the kids and knowing that something may happen where a kid shows up to a game and he has no shoes. And to me, those are things people maybe never saw the side of John Ivelo that I've known you, like I said, a long time, but I've seen that. And the kids are going to, miss John Ivelo not only as their coach but as a friend.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Well, shoes, knee pads, socks, you name it. Hell, you don't know this, but I'll let it out of the bag now. I did their laundry too. I'd collect laundry after all the games, even when I was out sick. Yeah, I'd go grab the laundry from my OC and take it to the laundromat and do the laundry and drop it back off at the school. But again, some kids don't have washing machines. Right. Sometimes that stuff will just sit in the locker for the whole season if I don't do it and wash it. So
no one wants that.
Nice
yeah.
No one
wants
I've
that
had a few
at
of
all.
those players in my day too, and you don't want that smell in the locker room.
No.
Keeps all of our equipment nice too that way. If somebody's there taking care of it all, then it stays nice for a longer period of time.
Yes.
As far as what's next, I get that a lot from people wanting to know what's next for John Ivelo. I mean, I know things have changed. You've retired from the police department. You put your time in, so you retired from the police department.
I did 25 years there, and I retired from there in January.
You're a very serious grandpa.
Yes, two grandchildren right now. Both by my former fullback, Jaden Huff. So, he married my daughter, Haley, and they've got two beautiful daughters and, grandchildren to me. And Mike and John are still single. And, Mike's married. John's single and probably will be forever. So,
so what do you have any thoughts of what's next, or is that you still trying to figure everything out?
No, I'm definitely not done coaching, but I don't need to be the head coach. I think in 25 years in law enforcement and 21 years of coaching, I think I've learned to, I guess you'd say, quote, read the room, and when it's time to leave, and it just seemed like the right time for me to depart from here. Again, I don't need to be a head coach, be an assistant coach, and I've got some young, talented coaches in the program, and some are applying for other jobs, and one of my favorites is my offensive coordinator, Harvey Jackson.
Yep.
He's been my coordinator the last several years, and he's been with the program for about 9 years, and he's applying for some jobs. I believe he put in for the Plainfield South job, so hopefully he can get that, and then I'll just go follow him over there and see. We'll have some fun over there, but there'll be a couple things going on, but I'm just kind of weighing everything right now.
And I get to the obvious, favorite moments, favorite games, and there's probably been too many, and I won't even get into favorite players or best players you coached, because let's face it, Coach Joe, that alone is a 2-hour show.
That's right. He's had a lot of good ones.
And it's funny because I got asked this not too long ago. What are your favorite memories? And for me personally, it's about the people that you've met and the relationships that you meet along the way during this, and for as long as you have. Is that the same with you? The relationship, because you've met so many different people.
So many people from the college world to the high school world, the kids, the parents. Heck, I think I've been through 8 or 9 principals at that building, and 3 or 4 superintendents. So, I've been around for quite a while. Matter of fact, I may have been one of the oldest people around from the old building. There's only about 3 of them left in that new building. So, we always talk about that. We're the last ones left, but it was nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you'll still reminisce, I'm sure, in your mind, even though you'll be an assistant coach like this old coach does sometimes, about when I was a head coach in some of the teams and some of the athletes, and it just puts a smile on your face. And I'm sure you'll do that if you already haven't done that. But I think you will over the course of time.
I've got pictures of the teams and just certain action shots of guys over the years that have had an impact. And let's face it, some of these kids have become like children to me over the years. There's a handful of those, and they still keep in touch. And my running back Eric Smith. He calls me Faja from the Austin Powers movie. And no, some of these guys I still keep in touch with and have a great relationship with.
Yeah, it's
for
sure. And again, you've been such a big part of Bolingbrook football for the past couple of decades. It's Joe. It's kind of unfathomable to think who would take that position over next. And,
yes.
What is your legacy, John? What do you want to be remembered from your tenure at Bolingbrook?
Nothing. I don't.
Come on. Come on. Nothing. That's what we're gonna do. Nothing.
It's never been about me, guys. That's the thing. I don't care. I went in. I had a job to do. I did it. I've been telling them guys forever, hey, start getting a new guy in here. Start getting a new guy. I told you I don't need to be the head guy.
Yeah.
But again, I just enjoy coaching, and that's it. So I'm a coach for life. I'll always coach, I think. And but that's it. Just coach for life, and I'm here.
John, I've got actually one more for you. Now, you'll coach again and be an assistant, and but what I want to know is, what are you going to do now on Thursdays when two knuckleheads call you on the telephone while interrupting your dinner? What are you going to do when those two knuckleheads want to talk to you?
I think it's the first thing you do. The first thing you do after 20 some years in coaching is change your number, because everybody's got it.
That's right.
I'm glad. Maybe I'll just start coming over to the studio. With
there you go.
Down.
See, he's going to start billing us now. That's the problem.
He'll start sending us the
We've all been freebies. Now we're going to start getting charged for all this tremendous information.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
Well, again, John, we had to have you on. There's no way we're not going to, let this go without trying to embarrass you a little bit and try to talk you up a little bit, because we're some of your biggest fans here.
Yes.
And
fantastic. I appreciate it, gentlemen. And like I said, I'm not going anywhere. Easily accessible. I'll be here. I'll be on somebody's sideline in the fall. I don't know who, but we'll see what happens.
So, and then the most important question I have is, are we restricted on the buffets and where we can eat now? And how's that been an adjustment for you?
Well, they try. What I do is, like a week and a half before I got to go into the dock, I always starve myself, so I'm down a little bit. And then after I see him, I pig out. So I've got it down. But
those blood tests are hard to beat, though, pal.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, take it firsthand.
You're right there. But.
Yep. My friend, thank you very much. This will not be the last time we talk to you. We will have you back on the show. I don't know. We'll just make up something and have you back on. So
sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, John.
Have a good Thanksgiving, John.
And best of luck to all our area teams.
All right. Thank you.
All right, John Ivelo, former head coach of your Bolingbrook Raiders. I mean, Joe and Evan, get behind the mic there. Where do you even start? I mean, I'll start. And the story I love to tell is, he mentioned coaches, college coaches. Guys, there was no busier school than Bolingbrook for recruits. You would go in there during the week, you might have a dozen Big Ten and SEC coaches in that building looking at kids. And the thing about John that always was amazing was he would definitely help his kids and talk up his kids. Mm-hmm. He would help out kids not in his school and not in his district, kids in the area, and say, hey, have you looked at this one? Or you might want to go check this kid out.
Right.
And then I got to the point where the coaches would ask him, and John would really go out of his way to help kids just outside of his program. But Joe, that was the kind of person John is.
I mean, he's going to be missed tremendously in that program.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
And again, and we know this, and your legacy are the ones you leave behind, meaning your kids, and tremendous young people that he raised. And I talked to Michael and John and Haley you mentioned. I've known Haley forever, and again, very good representatives of who John Ivelo is. So again, just glad we had a chance to have him on.
Yes.
And again, this will not be the last time. You will definitely have him back on the show, because Joe, eventually these guys are going to stop picking up our calls because they're sick of us. So we got to have somebody to put on the show.
Yeah, we have to.
No doubt. Evan, your thoughts? I mean, you've had plenty of dealings in comings and goings with John Ivlo as well.
To me, the epitome of what a high school coach is supposed to be because of what you talked about. It's not, he didn't promote himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
He never, I mean, you just heard it there when, he was, deflecting about, awards or coming back on or what memory do you remember the best? And it was just, nothing. It's always, it's not about him. It was about the kids. It was how many kids got, college opportunities that otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten them if he hadn't been advocating for them. How many kids at other schools are unaware that they got recruited by their school of choice because he said something to one of their coaches when they were in your building because he played you in week 1 and remember how good you were. I mean, that's what a high school coach is supposed to do. And a lot of times I think high school coaches try to emulate what they see on Saturdays and Sundays because they think that's what a football coach is. John Ivlo was someone who epitomized what it meant to be a high school football coach, a coach on Friday nights.
How many of those kids got through high school, academically qualified, and wound up at some of the finest institutions across this country, coming out of little old Bolingbrook High School? You know how that happens?
Well, that's because of him.
That happens because of a cooperation between him and his parents and getting these kids as freshmen and saying, look, this is what you have to do if this is where you want to get. And those kids follow that plan, and that's how it works. And it has worked very, very well at Bolingbrook. And that's another part of John's legacy. Joe, we're talking hundreds upon hundreds of kids that got placed into college because of John Ivlo.
Oh, yes. And
hundreds.
Yeah, and the cooperation that John had with the administration and the teachers to get these kids through and telling them what they have to do. And the kids, like you said, Edge, the kids did it and got into college, got degrees, because football's going to end at some point.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt about it. All right. So we appreciate that. Glad John could join us. And all right. So we're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, we'll go right into the playoff talk. We will discuss the Morris Football Club, Joe.
Yes.
On the road, taking on Peoria Stadium. We'll give you the full breakdown. Don't go anywhere. This is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview. 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
So you have a garage, but don't keep your everyday car in it? Or wait, you have a driveway, but it's blocked with, a junk car. You know that huge hunk of junk that you keep telling yourself you're going to fix or get rid of? Now is the time. Joliet U-Pull-It wants your junk car and will offer you free same-day pickup and the highest price in the area, guaranteed. Imagine having room in your garage or your driveway this winter. Better yet, imagine having more room and more money in your pocket. Joliet U-Pull-It will make it happen and accepts all makes and models. Simply log on to JolietUPullIt.com and click on Sell Us Your Vehicle or call 815-723-3011 to get a price immediately for your junk vehicle. That's JolietUPullIt.com. Click on Sell Us Your Vehicle or call Joliet U-Pull-It directly at 815-723-3011 to get rid of that junk car at your home for good and put money in your pocket.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and our neighbors living on the streets of Joliet and Will County are hungry. How hungry? This hungry.
I've gone days without eating. After a while, you go so long, it's almost like your body forgets the mechanics that it takes to complete the act of eating. It's almost like your body forgets how to swallow. Your mouth, the roof of your mouth kind of reverts back to like maybe a baby's mouth where solid foods are abrasive. It kind of hurts the roof of your mouth, and I've gone so long without eating that it's uncomfortable. It hurts to eat.
No one should ever go hungry, especially that hungry this Thanksgiving. Provide the hope that begins with a meal for only $2.48. $50 will feed 20 neighbors, and $100 will feed 40. Give now at morningstarmission.org. That's morningstarmission.org.
This is Harry
and Leah
from Newmark Credit Union.
Listen this Tuesday to Money Talk,
Presented by Newmark Credit Union.
Our guests talk about all kinds of topics.
I'll talk about the housing market and some good home buying tips.
Our experts will give you tips to help you do more with your money.
Don't miss your chance to win prizes.
Listen in this Tuesday, just after 9 a.m.
Right here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's news, talk, and sports.
Are you struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Michelle Kerfin handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else and more money too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen and get to a better state with State Farm. Find Michelle online at insurewithmichelle.com.
Nobody's bathtub should kick them out of their home or be an obstacle. My friends at Prime Baths, just a phone call away, have helped thousands of people stay happily in their homes for years by converting their tub or shower into a more accessible, safer part of their daily ritual. Don't dread bath or shower time or think this conversion will be a big hassle. Call my friends at Prime Baths, 815-552-1451 for an on-time, on-budget, and two-spec conversion of your tub to a safe, stylish alternative. Stay in your home with Prime Baths, 815-552-1451 or visit primebathsillinois.com and tell them Eddie sent you.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Tracks USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Manuka at 6:45. And Lockport battles Providence at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis, and high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
Hello again, if you could hear the show in between the show. Welcome back. It is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodegaro, Evan Bredesen, and Coach Joe.
Yes, sir.
We have 4 area teams left in the state semifinal round. This gentleman will be hopping, I'm sure, a very nice luxury charter bus on Saturday morning, heading down I-55 to, is it 74?
It'll be a much easier drive than going up to Richmond, Burton, or Sycamore. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, yeah. Heading out to lovely Peoria, and I love Peoria Stadium. I don't think Allen will after Saturday because then you see how old and beat up it is. But a lot of history there, a lot of charm. And we bring in Alan Thorson from the Morris Football Club. And Alan, first of all, congratulations. Huge, huge win at home to advance. And Coach, you know, one of the unspoken rules of football, Joe, and you know this very well.
Yes.
Here's a little advice, and I love the fact that Alan Thorson has his playoff cold raring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, and the voice too.
Playoff
and the
voice
too. So he's in full playoff mode. His guys.
Well, hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome. But that unwritten rule, Joe, when you're playing on the road, don't do anything to tick off the home team before the game because, Joe, in most cases, it doesn't work out well.
No, it doesn't.
Alan, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was. I think word travels fast about the game was great, but there was a lot of interesting things that happened obviously before, and it was there's just some, like you said, there's some things you don't do, and there's definitely some things you don't do in Morris, and it started in pregame with a nice slow walk down our sidelines with some chirping and foul. Yeah, I mean it was I've been doing this a while, and there was a lot of things I've never seen before. But as a coach, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely great. Yes. It was exactly what I thought our boys needed, and then running out and putting the flag right in the middle was
that's what I was alluding to.
Icing on the cake. So it was perfect, and it really set the tone for our guys.
Alan, when Edgy called me Saturday night and told me about that, I said, wait a minute, repeat that again. What happened?
Wait. And Joe goes, wait. Joe goes, wait. In Morris? Yeah, in Morris.
I go, that's one place you don't want to do anything like that is down there.
Yeah, it was interesting. And I mean, they had,
They had a lot of things. They had like a throne on their sidelines that was like for a turnover thing, and they took our game ball and launched it into the stands.
I saw that on the film. I saw that.
Yeah. So we had to get our game ball back at one point. That was really the only mistake we made is we did have one fumble that led to a turnover. But other than that, I think we played almost a perfect game. Our defense was lights out. Our special teams was great. Put up a lot. We really got on them early. AJ Zweers got in the end zone twice, and 2 nice passes from Carter Button. And then really once we got down to it, we just started running the ball and really controlled the clock. And it really was. It was a perfect game, and we ended it with putting our flags back in the middle of our field. So it was a great night.
So excuse my ignorance, but I have to ask this question. If I'm not mistaken, when I visited in the summer and saw your lovely home field, your turf, just gorgeous. How do you plant a flag at the 50-yard line with AstroTurf and artificial turf?
Yeah, it was more symbolic. No, it was just the kids holding them up. So it was, it wasn't really planted in there. But
there's a business idea for somebody. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Like a suction cup. Oh, how cool! How cool would it be, Alan? Here we go. You get a flag. And of course, this would never go, but you can light it on fire and then shoot it like an arrow. And then it lands like in the middle of the 50-yard line.
On field turf with rubber pellets. That sounds really, really good.
Hey, it's not my home field. It's not my home field. But there you go. We need to create like a suction cup thing where you can actually plant it at the 50-yard line.
Oh, boy.
Great. Another $1 million idea just got stolen.
Well, you're going to have the statue of Jeff Reitz next to the
Alan's working his way there, but Morris little stricter on the compliance laws and everything.
Yes.
We'll get the Jeff Reitz one done first, and if Alan likes it, then we can.
We'll come down to Morris.
I don't know if you've heard that, Alan, but I promised Jeff Reitz that eventually we're going to replace the Moon Man, or at least put a Gemini Giant.
Yeah,
a symbol.
I heard you guys say that.
Yeah. So we're working on that feverishly to get that done for him. So, all right, enough of the nonsense. Joe, you get away with too much nonsense here. Okay, take control of your show.
Alan.
No, it's good. Hey, like I said, I'm just happy to be talking to you guys now. So this is bonus time. I love it.
So I think what I find amazing is there's all these misconceptions about Peoria, and this year in particular, because obviously in the last handful of years, and you've seen Peoria before this year. It was basketball on grass. It was slinging it all over the field, and a little bit different this year. They've got a gigantic offensive line. They've got a really good running back, and Alan, they're much more of a run team this year than they've been as long as I can remember with Tim Thornton in charge.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Very, very good running back. He can, he's got very good speed, but physical, and that's something that we've got to be ready for. And I think we will be, but when you say O-line, I thought we had a big O-line, and I think we do, but they got one guy that's, I think, 385, and they've got some big boys on that O-line, and they just try to wall you down and create running lanes. So, last time we played them, I think it was 2016 in the semis. That was
all over the field. And
speed. We had, first of all, you had Kendrick Green, who's playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers on the line, and then you had Geno Hess, who I think's breaking all kinds of records at SEMO. So yeah. So they had, and then Cron Taylor went to U of I. So they had some athletes, and it's not to say they don't have athletes now. Trust me, there's a lot of respect on our end for who we're playing, but it definitely is a different sort of team. You're absolutely right. There's not as much zone read. It's a lot, and they do throw the ball now, and they've got a couple good receivers that they can get the ball to, but they really are heavy on the run. And, so that, we have been very good against the run, and we feel like that could help us. But again, there's some really good athletes over there, and this is going to be a tough game, a tough place to play, and very unconventional. They're going to onside every time. They're going to go for 2 every time. They rarely punt, even when they're in bad situations. So, we're going to have to be good on all three phases if we want to advance.
And then the other part of their game that has really changed, and you mentioned athletes, they decided to play defense, and their defense has been pretty good this year, and a lot of those athletes, Alan, are on the defensive side of the ball for them this year.
Yeah, they definitely play a lot. I mean, not that they didn't play defense before, but they play. They're a much better defensive team than they have been, I think, in years past. And I've said to multiple people, I mean, you describe their defense. Aggressive and pressure really don't even do it justice. I mean, they're going to put sometimes 10, 11 on the line, and they're bringing everybody. So, there's things that we do feel like we possibly could take advantage of that, but they're going to man you up across the board, and they're going to blitz you like crazy and try to put you in situations that you're not comfortable with. So, we've done a good job of practicing and simulating that this week, and I think the benefit for us, where we do feel comfortable, is having so many guys back on the offensive line. Having a very experienced season line for us, I think that's going to be a benefit for us. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge for sure.
Ellen, I want to go back to the game last week because I had a chance. Really, I saw all that stuff. I watched the entire game. I think Mohamed Seymour's. It was Mohamed Seymour's feed, and to me, I mean, you were correct when you said in the first quarters, jumping on them right away after you scored a touchdown on your first drive. And I thought you took at least 7 minutes off the clock there. And then they turned the ball over. You went right down and scored again, and they were in the hole 14-0. A key to me, though, was in the third and fourth quarters when you guys were stopped like on your 1 yard line, but your defense really came up huge a couple times in that third quarter to keep them pinned down. I told Edgy, I said, Mohamed Seymour spent the entire third quarter inside their own 20-yard line. And then in the fourth quarter, when you got the ball, and I don't know how much time there was on the clock, but you had that 7 to 8 minute drive. You made them use their timeouts. And, Ashton Yard and Sam Redinger had some big runs for you guys in that last series to chew up a lot of the clock. And eventually you scored. And to me, when they called their last timeout, the game was over because there's no way they can stop the clock, and you were about ready to score anyway. So that second half, I think, was huge. On one end, your defense, and then on the other hand, that 7-8 minute drive by your offense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, anybody that didn't watch, we did get stopped at our goal line, and I'll go to my grave believing we were in, but it was close, and I think the whole stadium on our side thought we were in. They obviously didn't, but it was a close play, but we really, we did stall out on that drive, but defensively, our defense really stepped up for us on a couple of different occasions there in the third quarter. And, we really preach field position to our guys too, the importance of special teams, and obviously it sets up your offense or your defense. So, we had some really good defensive stands there and had them, with their backs in the end zone where they were not comfortable. So, they were just trying to obviously try to get the ball out of the end zone and get a little better field position, and it allowed us to be really aggressive down there. And then, we had some nice punt returns that came off of that because they were stuck in the end zone. And then, if you watch that game early, we have two different contrasting styles of offense that we can run. We really do like to go up tempo and more of a spread offense, but at the same time, we can still go back to becoming old school Morris and grind it out in T formation.
I was going to say, I thought I saw some T formation on those highlights.
300 yards rushing. I thought you guys did a great job in your offense, and your backs and your offensive line did a great job.
Yeah, and when we feel like we have an advantage on the offensive line, that's something, we still use it in short yardage goal line, but when we did it in Centralia, especially with the wind, we did it this game as well. And when we feel like we can just kind of ground and pound and really chew up some clock and take advantage, we're going to go to that. And I think we took almost 7 minutes off the clock there in that one drive before we scored our last touchdown.
Right.
That's, what a great way to finish out a game. I mean, just kind of imposing your will on another team and really just kind of, honestly, I felt like we kind of dominated them up front. So that was a great way to kind of cap off the victory.
And I know the term battle tested gets thrown around a lot, but I look at how your conference has fared. There's no doubt about it. You guys are battle tested this year. You're in the semis. You got your buddies at Sycamore also on the other side that are in the semis. Rochelle made it to the quarters. Your conference, there's no doubt, got you ready for the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, even Richmond Burton was right there with obviously Providence team. So, yeah, I mean, we feel like we are as tested as anybody. We've already done the road trips, so this is not really anything new for us. Like I said, we know we're going against a tough opponent, and anytime you're in the semis, that's just a given. But for me, and obviously any coach is going to say this, but I think I even said it last week when I talked to you guys. I really think we're playing our best football.
Yeah.
We're not the same team we were when we played Sycamore Week 9. Again, very good team, and I'm really hoping to get a rematch because that means we're in the state game. But that was not the team that we are. We really played just a bad game that week, but on the positive, I think we found ourselves and we really answered a lot of questions, and I think these kids kind of grew up in that loss. So, we've seen some tough opponents, and we've obviously, I feel like we're tested, but like I said, right now, I think we're playing our best ball, and I think we're peaking. And honestly, I'm coming in tonight, coming off of our best practice of the season.
Awesome.
Things could not have been better tonight. So we feel really good going into this game, and it's just now it's a waiting game. It's time to play the game.
Yeah, Alan, best of luck.
Yes, good luck, Alan.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You bet. This is Pigskin Preview on 1340 WJOL.
Temperatures and snow. The Buffalo, New York area is about to get hit especially hard.
3 to 4 inch per hour snowfall rates. That's hard to do. That is thunder snow type of lake effect. So we could see that, and the major impacts could also include those power outages beyond the roads. And it is so good that they're saying just stay off. And remember, this is coming because the lakes are relatively warm, and then you get this super cold air. The freeze alerts go all the way down to Georgia.
ABC's chief meteorologist Ginger Z. Law enforcement reminding residents in Moscow, Idaho to remain vigilant as they search for a suspect in the murders of 4 college students.
Our goal is to help the public understand where we're at and why we're there. We just don't have information that we can provide, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating to us, and it's frustrating to the community.
Aaron Snell, Communications Director for Idaho State Police. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi thanking fellow lawmakers for their good wishes as her husband recovers from an attack at their home.
For my dear husband, Paul, who has been my beloved partner in life and my pillar of support, thank you. We're all grateful for all the prayers and well wishes as he continues his recovery. Thank you so much.
Pelosi saying it while she also says she won't seek a leadership position in the next Congress. The president of Ukraine continues to insist that a missile that landed in Poland was fired from Russia. As for NATO member nations,
the United States can determine very quickly once a rocket or a missile has been fired anywhere in the world, because we have these overhead infrared satellites that measure the heat signature from a liftoff. And that's exactly what happened here, probably.
ABC's Louis Martinez at the Pentagon. You're listening to ABC News.
Spoiled supermarket meat, sawdust like fillers, artificial preservatives?
Hold on there. I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. You don't want your dog eating any of that. These potentially harmful ingredients are found in many of today's popular dog foods, but not in Nature's Blend. A freeze-dried raw dog food with real cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
Nature's Blend is designed to help support your dog's playfulness, healthy skin, soft coat, easy digestion, and youthful mobility.
Your dog will go bonkers over Nature's Blend savory flavor and texture.
For a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free festive holiday dog sweater with select orders. Go to drmartyspets.com/Marty or text Marty to 511-511.
I guarantee it with a 100% 90-day return of your purchase price.
Offer available with select orders while supplies last. Text fees may apply. You may receive up to 1 additional text. Text stop to opt out.
Fewer first-time jobless claims were filed last week.
The previous week's initial jobless claims were revised upward, but now the figure has dropped back by 4,000. A total of 222,000 people filed their first applications for unemployment benefits. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the largest increases in initial claims were in Kentucky, California, and Texas.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Tyson is recalling about 94,000 pounds of raw ground beef products sold in Texas because they may be contaminated with a, quote, mirror-like material. History in Los Angeles, which elects its first female mayor.
On a quintessential sunny Los Angeles day, Congresswoman Karen Bass accepting victory in front of her supporters. After a close and brutal campaign, the career-long Democrat beating out Republican-turned-Democrat real estate developer Rick Caruso. Bass saying she understands issues of homelessness, crime, and inflation are plaguing L.A.
People of Los Angeles have sent a clear message. It's time for change, and it's time for urgency.
Caruso has conceded Bass will become the first female mayor of L.A. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees has been named the American League MVP. Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals named the National League MVP. This is ABC News.
Open wide. Let me see that smile.
There's a back-to-school braces boom at Doc Kelly's office.
Can you hold on for a sec? Can someone bring me more brackets?
She needs to realign her staffing plan with more registered dental assistants.
Can you reorder the rubber bands in red?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
Tonight, shut off the video games, turn off the smartphones, and unplug the tablet.
What? Hey!
Because tonight, you're going to take the family bowling.
I didn't know I could have this much fun without plugging something in.
Echo Lanes and Crossfire Laser Tag in Morris is committed to providing family-friendly fun at affordable prices. Every Tuesday is Quartermania. Bowling, shoes, and pop are just $0.25 each. Hot dogs are 50 cents, and so are fries after your $6.50 cover charge. Every Thursday, laser tag is $5 per session, and bowling is just $1.99 per game. Come back Sunday. Bowling is $5 per game. Echo Lanes and Crossfire Laser Tag at the junction of Routes 47 and Route 6 in Morris. Open Mondays at 4, Tuesdays through Friday at noon, Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Birthday parties and holiday parties booking now. Call 815-942-2640 or log on to echobowlinglanes.com for more info. That's echobowlinglanes.com.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Amy. And I'm April. And we're the owners of Immediate Cure.
After 8 years of caring for the Shorewood and Joliet communities, Immediate Cure is proud to announce that our North Plainfield location is now open at Route 59 and 119th Street. From x-rays and injuries to illness and wellness visits, Immediate Cure will continue to bring the same compassionate care you've come to trust. Immediate Cure is open every day in Joliet, Shorewood, and now in Plainfield. Find the location and hours that work for you at immediatecure.com. At Immediate Cure, we care more.
It has been a difficult few years. We have experienced uncertainty, hardships, and loss. Now more than ever, it is important to plan ahead. If you're choosing burial or cremation, pre-planning your aftercare alleviates the stress and financial burden off your loved ones. Farkas Funeral Home can help you with all your pre-planning needs. Our Caring Family Service Counselor has the dedication and experience to help you plan ahead and save. Visit us on the online at farkasfuneral.com.
You got a problem with your car? Here's a chance to talk to the experts. Listen in this Thursday at 9:35 to Car Talk with the experts from the service department at Darcy Buick GMC. Call in with your questions about any vehicle and get honest, experienced answers about your car. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday at 9:35 a.m. Brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Right here at 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Tracks USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Lockport battle at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis, and high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is hour number 2 of the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodagero and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. We are hopefully connecting shortly with Glenbard West head coach Chad Hetlett, who will bring his Hilltoppers over to Lincoln Way East, Joe, on Saturday. First of all, before we dig into this, want to thank our sponsors, State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And, of course, our WJOL game of the week is Saturday for Class 4A, Providence at Wheaton St. Francis. Joe Rodagero, Dave Dwyer on the call. That is a 2 p.m. kickoff. Joe, what time's pregame? About 12:15?
I don't know, but if any Providence fans are listening out there, get there early. Parking is at a premium.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So, again, appreciate our sponsors for this show and every show. And again, so how this is going to work, we will not be here Thursday.
Nope.
We will not be here doing the show because it's Thanksgiving and, well, we sort of like our families and would like to keep
and
them.
Food.
And food. So we really like food.
Yes.
So we will not be here. So this is the last show until after the state finals.
Yes.
So what we do is we will come back the following week. It's not going to be Thursday because we are preempted by Lewis basketball. So we will, my website, Twitter, message board, we will have all that information. So we'll have one more go around. We'll do a season recap. We'll give out some awards. And we will look forward to that. If Chad Hetlett, if you're out there, 815-254-7300, would love to hear from you, sir. Again, we are trying to connect with Chad Hetlett to talk about Joe. A tremendous game in 8A is Lincoln Way East coming off a big win last week, a game I was at. Joe, defense, it's funny. I've seen Lincoln Way East play twice this year. Both times they've been outstanding offensively. So I don't know if I'm truly that good luck charm, by the way.
What's your overall record?
Would you like to know what my overall record is?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Covering Lincoln Way East. Now, remember, I'm very old, so I've been to some games. Would you like to take a guess at what my overall record is covering Lincoln Way East, since they have been playing varsity football?
Oh, boy.
And believe me, Chad Hetlett will be thrilled to hear that I am not going to be there Saturday. Take a shot.
90-5.
I'm not that. I haven't been to that many games. Ooh, Evan's very, very close. Evan almost nailed it. If you would have included the 2 games this year, you would have it. Actually, it's 22-1.
Wow.
I can't do math. The master 734 said 23-1. Pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good guess. It's insane. It's crazy. I don't even like talking about it. Lincoln Way East fans don't like me talking about it. They just like when I walk through the gates.
I think the only time that I actually, when I've done a game there at Lincoln Way East, I've only seen them lose once.
Yeah, me too. Once.
That was it.
That was it. So, yeah, unbelievable. What I'm intrigued by that matchup is, again, similarities.
Yes.
Both play great defense. Both a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism on the defensive side. Offensively, they want to run the football. They'll spin out some play action off of that. And they were Glenbard West very effective against Maine South. Couple of big special teams plays, couple of onside kicks, and did exactly what they needed to do against Maine South is limit their touches. That's exactly what they did. And they had to hang on for dear life at the end because it got interesting, but they pull away with a win. And that is just a great job by Chad and his staff to know what to do. Why don't you give him a call now? He just texted me, so hopefully we'll be able to connect with him.
And you were at the Warren game, and I kind of put together Lincoln Way East, Warren, and Glenbar West in the same category as far as defense and offense is concerned. From what I gathered from you, that Glenbar West is probably a little bit better offensively than Warren was.
Yeah,
Warren
for
is?
sure.
Okay. All right.
No doubt about it. All right. So we'll pull in, we'll get Chad Hetlet in here for a couple of minutes. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Joining us, the head man in charge at Glenbard West, Mr. Chad Hetlet. Hello, sir.
Edgy, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's myself and Coach Joe here, and just glad to have you back on the show. We were just talking about what I see is there just seems to be a lot of similarities in a lot of ways between you and Rob's team over at Lincoln Way East. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think that knowing Rob for a number of years, we're similar in how we coach our kids. I think that we both believe that you have to run the ball to win and you have to stop the run to win. And he and his players at Lincoln Way do a great job of both of those things.
Major kudos on the win at Maine South, as you all know. That is a dangerous team every year. And you mentioned great coaches, and that's Dave and Sarah and that staff as well. You limited their touches, and that's not an easy thing to do. I got to imagine that had to be a big part of the game plan going into that game.
Well, I mean, we had to steal possessions,
right?
But we didn't know how good the lefty quarterback was back, and he had played in the playoffs. We knew they were pretty good defensively, but until you see the kid in person, he's really a special quarterback. I mean, it's a shame that he was injured, but with Charlie Bliss, and then just with what Coach Sarah does, I mean, when they went right down the field twice on us, I thought we're going to have to do something that kind of changed the direction of this game and the path of the game, because in a shootout, it's tough to beat Maine South at Maine South in the playoffs. They just don't lose at home in the playoffs.
Nope.
Chad,
so, yeah.
Last year, you were eliminated by Lockport, and I think Edgy and I were talking at the beginning of the show or even before the show. I think we had you on during that week, and you talked about your team last year being a young team, and how has your quarterback now as Corey Ty, I believe is his last name, that's how you pronounce it, in his second year as a varsity quarterback, how has he progressed in your eyes to run this offense?
I mean, tremendously. I mean, he has done an amazing job of one, efficiently managing our offense, but then when we need to throw the ball, whether it be deep or, 3-step routes, he's been outstanding. I mean, in every week, he just gets better and better. Now, we tried not to run him much during the year, on carries, just because I didn't want to get him beat up during the year. But, now that it's the playoffs, he's going to get more touches. And I'm just going to tell you, he's a dynamic runner.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
He's very explosive.
Yeah, I mean, your calling card has been and continues to be and always will be defense for you. How is this team defensively maybe different from the last few? I mean, every team and certainly your defense kind of has their personalities. What is this defense's personality this year?
It's a young group. There's 6 juniors and a sophomore out there, so they're very young in that regard. But there's some good seniors that are leading them, and they've gotten better every week too. I mean, we didn't maybe look on the field like we were doing a lot of good things, but give credit to Maine South last week. And the defense has been pretty steady. I mean, up until Maine South, our guys had only given up a touchdown in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So I thought that, they're a defense that's young, that's been maturing each week. And, they had critical stops against Maine South in the game, particularly in the fourth quarter, and got off the field. So they're just a really kind of a scrappy defense that's, just getting better each week, I think.
Yeah.
Chad, you lost offensively. You lost Joey Pope for a while. I think he's back now. Hopefully he's back for you guys. I thought I saw that in the game when you played Lockport, reading some articles. But with your offense, it comes. I think your strength is from your offensive line, led by Chris Tarrick, and that group of guys actually makes things happen for you guys.
Yeah. Chris is one of the best I've seen at the high school level. And he's worked himself into that spot, but he's surrounded by a bunch of other really good offensive linemen as well. And all of those kids are back. Our tight end, from our tight end Phil Maturowski to our tackle Jack Anderson and Brady Cavan and Luke Adamski and Jack Bear. Those guys all started for us last year. So that's got to be where we count on our kids, right? I know Chris Terrace leads that group, but he's just one guy. And in our fullback, Connor McLaughlin and Rhett Pierce, they've been blocking and running hard inside. It's been a team effort. But yeah, our offensive line, they'll take us as far as we can go.
It sounds kind of strange, and I'm going to ask it anyway. Is it almost an advantage to you to go on the road and play on field turf?
Our kids love playing on field turf.
I was going to say, your team is built. Seems like you're almost more built for a field turf, and you know how much I love your stadium and Lake Ellen and the setting. There's no better setting on a Saturday for a high school game than Dushan Field. But boy, I just think you guys benefit from being on field turf.
I think it. Yeah, I think it. We had to play Glenbrook South on that, and I apologize to their coach about our surface, but it doesn't hold water. It's kind of a bog, and it's not good for anybody. But yeah, our kids love playing on turf, so they're excited about being able to play on turf. The Dushan thing, playing on the grass, our kids have the same feelings. We don't think it's an advantage by any means because a lot of what we do is, like you said, Edgy, predicated on speed. So, yeah, we've never played down at Lincoln Way East. We've played those guys 3 times, twice at our place, once in the state championship game. So it'll be our first trip down there. And like anything, you get an opportunity to play one of the best, dynasty programs in the state. We're super excited about it. I want to see what the environment's like down there. It's an exciting opportunity for us in our program.
No doubt about it. My friend, I appreciate you taking time. I know how busy you are this time of year. And, before I cut you loose, earlier in the show, we had John Ivelo on. And John, just the other day, turned his letter of resignation into Bolingbrook. Dealings with John, any run-ins in your relation, any kind of relationship with John?
Yeah, he's a good friend. John's people don't know behind the scenes what John has done, for thousands of kids over the years at Bolingbrook. They have no idea, how many kids he's not only helped, but saved in a lot of ways. He's a guy that I admire for many reasons. And I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm sad to see him go, but I totally understand. We all have got a shelf life. Mine's getting close too. So I'm so happy for him in that regard, but we'll miss him as a coach, and he's definitely one of the most respected guys. And for me, it means so much what he is as a man and how he shows those kids of his how to be a man. And it's very impressive.
Well, you know what? If you're day old bread, we're week old bread. So don't worry about it, pal. You still got plenty of shelf life compared to us. But Chad, always appreciate talking to you, pal, and best of luck Saturday. And again, just thank you again for your time. We appreciate it.
Yes, good luck, Chad.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, Chad Hetlett from Glenbard West joining us, and we appreciate him taking some time. And yeah, Joe, that is going to be one heck of a game Saturday. That is just, and again, you look at that whole 8A field. Man, it's good.
A juggernaut.
It is good. You've got what I like about it, and we got a break here in a second, but what I like about 8A is you have 4, distinctive teams. You've got 3 power teams there in Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East and Loyola. No shocker that they're there. But then you've got York that comes in, and I'm telling you, this York team's got some magic going this year, and they are incredibly deliberate with what they do. They do it very well. I think it's a good game at Loyola. We'll see. I could see a couple of different scenarios playing out, but I love the 8A field. It is just really, really strong.
Yeah, York is a senior-dominated team, which was really looking forward to this year, and that ought to be a great game at Loyola.
Evan?
York is one of those teams, I call them the annoying team.
Yeah,
'Cause they're the
100%.
team when you play, they're like a gnat. They just won't go away. Like you'll get up 13-0 and then they'll have like a 14-play touchdown drive.
Right.
And it'll be 13-7 and you'll be at the half and going, weren't we just blowing this team out a minute ago? I mean, they just find a way to stick around and and then in the fourth quarter, they just kind of figure out how to win with their experience.
They are incredibly deliberate with controlling tempo. Completely deliberate. They want to drag out drives and not give you the ball back. And Matt Vezza has been brilliant running that offense.
And on the flip side, what does John Holisek like to do on defense more than anything? I'm going to take away your number one thing you do.
Now
I'm just
beat
going
us.
to attack you. Now try to beat us.
I said,
what's going to happen when he puts 10 guys on the line and they've got to make I mean, they're going to put York in some difficult read situations and try to really overwhelm them.
It is going to be interesting in that game because that's what Loyola wants to do, and they want to get up on you early. I think the other game where that's going to be a storyline is Mount Carmel and St. Rita. Mount Carmel has jumped on top of everyone early in the games where they've been really good. They get up early. And the first meeting in week 1, they got up on Rita and never looked back. And last week against Brother Rice, they got up early on Rice. They still had a dozen penalties in the first half and still got up on Brother Rice. So, again, that is going to be the storyline for sure. But I love that 8A field.
I mean, if you're Rita, you just can't let Carmel get into tempo.
No, 100%.
Because once they get tempo going, you might as just turn out the lights. The party's over.
All right, take a break. This is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
It's been 9 long months, but high school football is back. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, the proud sponsor of the Pigskin Preview Show, wishing all of our local teams the best of luck in 2022. Only time will tell how many champions we'll crown this year. Speaking of championship teams, if you're looking for a new insurance agency, why not consider the Malloy State Farm team, voted the best of Will County 4 years in a row. Give us a call at 815-463-5800 to hear what a championship team sounds like.
The name to know for heating and air conditioning too. Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
Cooler temps are coming sooner than we think. Hi, this is Rick Cronholm, president of Johansson and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now is the perfect time to install your new heating and cooling system with special offers from Johansson and Anderson and energy rebates. We're talking York and Johansson and Anderson rebates of up to $850 and utility rebates up to $450 on qualified heating and air conditioning systems. That adds up to $1,300 back for you, and you'll use less energy all winter. Invest in your home, get money back, and save money every month. Call the name you can trust for over 75 years, Johansson and Anderson. Call J&A today, sleep tight tonight. Johansson and Anderson, a York certified comfort expert.
Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
So you have a garage, but don't keep your everyday car in it? Or wait, you have a driveway, but it's blocked with, a junk car. You know that huge hunk of junk that you keep telling yourself you're going to fix or get rid of? Now's the time. Joliet U-Pull-It wants your junk car and will offer you free same-day pickup and the highest price in the area, guaranteed. Imagine having room in your garage or your driveway this winter. Better yet, imagine having more room and more money in your pocket. Joliet U-Pull-It will make it happen and accepts all makes and models. Simply log on to JolietUPullIt.com and click on Sell Us Your Vehicle or call 815-723-3011 to get a price immediately for your junk vehicle. That's JolietUPullIt.com. Click on Sell Us Your Vehicle or call Joliet U-Pull-It directly at 815-723-3011 to get rid of that junk car at your home for good and put money in your pocket.
The holidays are right around the corner, and it's a time to be home for the holidays. Why not purchase a new lift chair recliner from Mars Medical for you or your loved one to rest in after your big turkey dinner? Mars Medical in New Lenox has 8 models currently in stock to choose from, starting at $799. Now through December 31st, Mars Medical is giving away a free Christmas or military cane for every new lift chair purchase. It's a $12. Mars Medical also has monthly rentals for lift chairs available if needed for your holiday visitors. Financing available on any purchases over $200 at Mars Medical through Care Credit. Remember, lift chairs make great Christmases for your loved ones. So get to Mars Medical today and have your new chair in time for the holidays. Mars Medical on the north side of Route 30 between Cedar and Vine Road in New Lenox. Or go online to marsmedicalsupply.com. Mars Medical, customer care that is out of this world.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Trans USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Manuka at 6:45. And Lockport battles Providence at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis in high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. And Joe, we go out to the phone lines. We're going to bring in the head coach of your Providence Catholic Celtics. And Joe, I think we just woke him up. He probably fell asleep at the desk watching Huddle Tape.
I hope not.
Go ahead, Tyler Plants, but that's okay. Tyler, welcome aboard.
Yeah. Yes, good to talk to you guys again.
Yes.
Long time no talk.
Well,
Yes.
you know, it's become our Thursday tradition. So I'm all about tradition and superstitious. I'm as Irish as they come. So we have offered, and we will again extend the olive branch.
Yes.
If you want us to call you, we will FaceTime you Thanksgiving night if you feel that has something to help you out.
Without a doubt. Again, we win this. We can figure out a way to win
All
this
right,
one.
we will make it work.
Yeah, we might even set you guys up like right at the Thanksgiving table. We can share a meal. You know.
All right. Good.
Again, congratulations! A tremendous performance against a very, very strong Richmond Burton team.
Yes.
Thank you.
We talked last week. I believe I made the comparison cartoon-wise. You went from the Jetsons to the Flintstones, and it kind of seems like you're going back to the Jetsons this week. Fair?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Tyler, we did the game on the radio, and very impressive in the win. I thought you really took it to them. I thought the defense did an outstanding job of curtailing their two big running backs. And the one thing that impresses me doing the games that I've had with you guys is the fact that an offense might get a couple plays in there. And I think you'll know early in the game, they ran the one jet sweep for 50 some odd yards. And they ran that successfully, maybe 2 or 3 times, not for that big chunk, but they did. But they did. But after that, you guys made adjustments to that play and still stuffed the run of the two running backs. And I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was poorly coached by me during the week. I didn't explain well enough to how we needed to fit that thing. But that's a cool thing just with the group that we have and the leadership that they have. It wasn't like, all right, they gave up an explosive play and they're starting to scream at each other and point fingers at each other. It was, all right, how do we get on the board? How do we make the adjustment? How do we fix the mistake? And we did. And we did quickly. And next time they ran it, we got our guy running downfield in the alley. So it was a testament to those guys. One, their week of prep, all right, and then also their football 101, football intelligence and ability to adjust on the fly was really impressive.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Is it maybe the hardest aspect that you found with now coaching high school kids is, and you've mentioned before about how intelligent your kids are on that team and how they pick things up so quickly. I get the feeling, Tyler, that's not always the case at the high school level. And how long of an adjustment period does that take to where, you're able to get them on the sidelines and make an adjustment here or there? And I'm assuming they get it done relatively quick, but how long is that? I guess what I'm asking is that has to be a much more involved process than it seems.
Without a doubt. I mean, we've talked about it every week, but the biggest thing you want to do is teach your fundamentals of the game.
Yep.
And then as you teach, like through the summer, we didn't get in the scheme until really, really late. It was teaching what other teams do? How do we adjust to this? How do we play the game? How does our defensive structure work? How do we make adjustments based off of X? And then as you're teaching football, like teach football, graduate from that 100 level into the 200 level, start getting a little bit more crowd participation. Then you're out on the field playing the game, 300 level. And then you get to the 400 level where it's like, all right, guys, what do you like here? Where do you feel comfortable? When you get this, what are you thinking? So being able to kind of build that initial foundation isn't easy to teach initially, where I feel like there's a lot of people that just don't even look at the game the same way. But being able to get the guys on like the same mental wavelength or a similar mental wavelength, where we can communicate back and forth was a huge part of just our summer. And then getting here, obviously, where we've seen about every kind of offense from obviously the Flintstones to the Jetsons, that's really paid off to be able to lean back on, again, just installing the fundamentals and the base understanding of the game.
Tyler, talk about your quarterback a little bit. I thought he played as his perfect game, I think, as a high school quarterback could play on Saturday. I thought he had a tremendous game. I mean, your offensive line did a great job in the running game and things like that. But I thought Lucas Proudfoot had a great game managing the offense and throwing the ball when he was called to throw the football. I thought the seam routes in the middle of the field were awesome, and he seemed like, to me, seeing him fourth time now, that this was probably his best game.
Oh, without a doubt. It's to see him improve week in and week out has been awesome to see. One, that's obviously a testament to Lucas. Like Lucas,
100%.
We've worked hard with Lucas from the moment we got in the door, just making sure he understood what it takes to play quarterback, to play quarterback and to lead the offense. So there was we had to make sure that he ate some humble pie initially when we got in here. But the way that he's responded, again, he's a quarterback, so I got to jump all over him. The way he's been able to respond has been awesome. And then also a testament to Bobby Peters, who's our offensive coordinator, and he's really done a great job. He's like one of the few guys who's outside of kind of like the Providence family, quote unquote. So we always kind of bust him. So he, the way, and like he's always got the big emphasis on the pass game, and obviously you know how things go around here, like run the damn ball.
Yes.
But the way that he's kind of helped more for our offense, and specifically the pass game, and to tailor it to Lucas and to what we do well as an offense, is really impressive. And just the offensive coaches in general, Coach Jeremiah Joe, Parker Cleveland, Tim Henry, and Jacob Sheffer, and then obviously my dad and my brother Logan. They've been all awesome contributors to build this plan.
Run the damn ball, Joe. How many times have we heard that over the years? Oh my God!
Yeah,
screaming from the stands from the parents.
Run the dang ball.
Right.
So the question, Tyler, I have is taking a look at St. Francis and what they can do, and obviously very talented team, a lot of talent and skills. Who do they remind you of? They remind you of anyone at all this year that you've played, or are they kind of unique?
I mean, every opponent that we played is unique. I mean, these guys they've got a lot of speed. I mean, they've got a lot of talented players. I mean, they've got great personnel. So, obviously there's matchup issues all over the field that we have to try and take care of. So, I mean, they're a great opponent. I don't know if there's anyone specifically I'd pinpoint that they're similar to. They do a lot of stuff well. And they've got guys on the perimeter and inside that can make it pay. So, I mean, it's a well-coached team and a really, really solid football team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, my friend. Well, again, I'll reach out to you early next week, and we'll line up our holiday Zoom, and we'll be hopefully,
yes, please,
hopefully have to talk to you. So we don't want to change anything. Joe's even going to wear the same sweatshirt, so we're not going to change anything.
Actually, Tyler,
what's your favorite dessert?
Look at us, anything. So
just look at it.
Okay.
Tyler, I actually told Coach Smith and Coach Turnick that I stopped by again yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, Joe, they're tired of you stopping by.
Well, I told them, I said, hey, went on Saturday. I said, when are you guys done with school? And they go, well, Tuesday. I said, well, I'll be here either Monday or Tuesday because I got to keep this thing going for Tyler.
Please, door's always open. If you don't know, again, give me a text and I'll make sure the door. I'll sprint over and let you in.
All right, buddy, good luck.
Good luck, Tyler.
Absolutely appreciate you guys, Tyler. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Tyler Plants joining us from Providence Catholic, and that's the kind of guys we are.
Yep.
I'm not messing up a winning streak for anybody.
No.
So if you need us to call you on
Baseball
Thanksgiving
coaches
night,
like myself, we're all superstitious.
not a problem. I'll make it work. The family will understand.
Yes.
So, all right, we appreciate it. And Joe, again, we're going to have Bob McMillan on after the commercial break, but just a great ball game.
Yes.
And
Another
again, it's, boy, I don't want to bet. You can't bet against this Providence team the way they played.
Has the mojo working. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, it's we can talk about Coach of the Year in the area, but I think we just had him on.
I think so too.
And we know how great Z is, and obviously, Alan Thorson and Brett are a little bit different because they're kind of on the fringe of the coverage area.
Right.
And Z honestly could be Coach of the Year every year.
He could be.
So, but boy, for a first year coach to come under to take that program over and to get them in the semis, it's eye opening for sure, and really
without a doubt.
All right, going to step aside when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Bob McMillan, Arena League Hall of Famer, and even better, he's the father of TJ McMillan. You'll like that one. We'll be back. You are listening to the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's AMAC, the Association of Mature Americans. Hi, this is Mary Tilter. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money from discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most. AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite is that AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedom secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aroma inhibitor is for women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The nights are getting longer and cooler, telling us that change is on the way. But if nothing is changing with the dreary lighting in your home, get to Light Source Lighting today, and we'll keep those rooms warm and inviting in any season. You won't believe the difference or the possibilities with Quoizel lighting. Come see our Quoizel collection, touch them, use them, see them in comparison to other brands, and imagine them in your home. And we guarantee you, your design vision will come clear. If you've shopped for lighting at a big box store, you've been denied the truly unique experience our designers and showrooms can provide. Have some fun with new stunning designs as well as classic choices from Quoizel. They're here today and every day. Browse Light Source Lighting with a friend. Come on your lunch hour or after work. Visit our 2 convenient locations in Plainfield and Plano. And check out lightsourcelighting.com before your shopping visit.
Save big money during the last 11% off in 2022. Take advantage and save on Mastercraft doors. Mastercraft has the best in-stock selection of doors, including interior and exterior doors. Design your own with our door designer, in-store or online. Plus, get free shipping to the store in approximately 7 days. All Mastercraft interior and exterior doors are 11% off. Good through November 23rd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
The WJOL Thanksgiving Basketball Classic, presented by Tire Tracks USA, turns 26 years old this year. Will County's oldest Thanksgiving week tradition continues. Monday night at the University of St. Francis Rec Center in Joliet. On Monday night at 5 o'clock, Romeoville takes on Plainfield Central. Lamont plays Manuka at 6:45. And Lockport battles Providence at 8:30. At 6:30 p.m. at Joliet Central, the Steelmen take on Bradley Bourbonnais. WJOL, the University of St. Francis, and high school basketball. A winning recipe this Thanksgiving week. Brought to you by Tire Tracks USA.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Don't worry about it, Evan. We all get a little rusty when we're gone for a few weeks.
Yes.
EDGYTIM here along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. And guys, we are thrilled to bring in Arena League Hall of Famer. But more important than that, and besides more important than being the St. Francis head football coach, he is the father of state champion Shay McMillan. That's right, because I'm a dad, a girl dad as well. State champion Shay McMillan. Oh, yeah, and also TJ and Bobby McMillan. Welcome, head coach Bob McMillan, to the show. How you like that, Coach?
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. How you guys doing? Thank you for that that kind introduction.
No problem. Glad to have you aboard. Congratulations. Again, another terrific run, and you get a semifinal at home. You can't ask for much more. Well, okay, you can ask for one more step, but
yes,
that's awfully close to being just about everything you want going into an end of the year, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way things fell, and and how well Providence is playing right now. We get this opportunity to play this game at home, and it's going to be a great game. They're a well coached team. Tyler's doing a heck of a job out there with that program, and we're fortunate enough to have it at our place.
Bob, thank you again for all the information. I'm the guy that bothered you early in the week for the information, but I thank you very, very much for all that. It's much appreciated. Going over, your roster and your players, very young team you have. Do you believe, I guess when you started the season out with so much youth, did you believe you were a year away, or things kind of progressed pretty fast for these guys growing up and getting to the point that they are right now?
When we started this season, I thought last year, we didn't finish obviously the way we wanted to. I thought that last year's team was pretty good, and then I thought this year would be a team that, with the size we have up front, having a second year in our quarterback and Alessio Milivojevic, and then just the progression of our running backs with Amari Head and Brady Piper, we felt we could make a run at this thing, and then obviously the play of Dash Dorsey has just been amazing this year.
That big kid in the middle that's been starting for you since what, freshman year? He's not bad either.
Yeah, he's a pretty good football player. I'm not one of those guys that talks about my son, but we're not where we're at as a program without TJ. TJ has helped build this program to when I took it over 6 years ago. That was 1-8, and he's been a big part, and not just TJ, but all the boys along the way. But he's been a huge part of why we've had success and why we continue to make playoff runs. And hopefully we can continue to do that years after he leaves. Bob,
I had a son who played for me also, and in baseball, not football, but in baseball. When I was a head coach, is it finally kind of hitting home with you a little bit that this is going to be maybe the last time you're going to be able to coach your son?
Well, it's not maybe. It's going to be the last time I coach my son. It has a little bit. I do it when I'm not around my family. I try to be that tough, macho guy. But having coached TJ since he was 5 years old, and I had an opportunity to coach obviously my older son, but Bobby. But having that chance to coach TJ and finally seeing him off and everything else has just been a tremendous ride. And he's exceeded everything I ever thought he was going to be. He's turned into a great young man, number one. And he's a hell of a football player, and I know he's going to have great success at the next level with Coach Bielema at Illinois.
Very good. Very good.
Thank God for moms.
Exactly.
That's where he got all his talent.
Thank God.
That's where my son got his too.
Yep.
Believe me.
Yep. No doubt about it. Another kid I want to talk to you a little bit about, Bob, that I continue to be just really impressed with is Alessio, and the progress he's made. I mean, just about every level you can think of, as far as his progressions as a quarterback, physically, the changes that he's made. I mean, have you had a kid, maybe outside of your own kid, that has worked as hard as Alessio to get where he's at these days?
No, I mean, you want to talk about a kid that is constantly working on his craft. If he's not on the football field throwing footballs around, he's at speed training, or he's at, some type of workout to where he's making himself better. This is a kid that is flat out doing everything possible to be the best quarterback he can be. And, he's doing a tremendous job doing it. And he's just continuing. He's just scratching the surface now. I think he's had a tremendous year this year. But I can't imagine how he's going to be the next, the year after this and then on to college.
Talk about your assistant coaches a little bit, because, I love your staff. What's the best way I can describe them? They're a unique bunch of individuals who also really know what they're doing with football.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm as good as the guys around me, and I think that the reason we're so successful is I have a great coaching staff around me. Having a guy like Doug DeFusco, who's been around football for over 25 years, has won multiple national championships, won a state championship at Nazareth. Defensive coordinator and Ron Griffin, who was with Waubonsie Valley over there for many years, and then able to come over here and do what he's done as a defensive coordinator. But I got football guys on my staff. Our linebacker, running back coach is played at Missouri, was in the NFL and in the Arena League for a while. Our defensive line coach was at Northwestern, played with Pat Fitzgerald. Our line coach played at North Central under Jeff Thorne. So they're football guys that have been around great coaches and have played the game before, and they're taking their life lessons and teaching our kids and developing our kids the right way.
As far as Saturday, we've talked about this Providence team that, Tyler takes them over. And honestly, Bob, there weren't a lot of high expectations going into the season and the job that he's been able to do to get this team on track and into the semis. What are some of the concerns that your guys have to be concerned about? What specifically do they bring to the table that you've got to be aware of and your kids need to be aware of on Saturday?
Well, number one, that coaching staff over there is phenomenal for the way, they're battle tested. They've played a heck of a schedule and have taken that on to the playoffs. And, during the season, they took JCA to the ropes and lost a tough one.
Yep.
So I don't know if anybody was surprised about how good a job Tyler was doing all year, because just watch what he's done with some of the teams he played. And, that's a good football team over there with a coaching staff that knows what they're doing. And, they're playing at a high level right now. They're playing as well as anybody in the state playoffs right now. And, no one ever thought a 13 seed or a 5-4 seed would have made it this far. But with the guys they have over there and the coaching staff they have, there was never a doubt in my mind those guys weren't going to make it this far.
So, and by the way, those of you watching on the YouTube live stream, if you look at Coach Joe, and why wouldn't you look at Coach Joe? He's definitely the most handsome man in this picture.
Don't believe that.
And probably one of the most handsome men in the entire Will County area. But that color that Joe is wearing, that is the color of the St. Francis turf. How much pushback did you get putting in blue turf? Did you get any pushback putting on blue turf?
No, that was one that our president at the time, that was one of her decisions that she wanted to make when we were replacing the turf, is that we wanted to do something unique, something for a wow factor to try to get people excited and kids that, wanted to do something different and come to a school that's got a great a great campus, and having that blue turf down, everyone that comes there likes to look for a field, and Friday nights it's a tremendous thing when it's dark out and those lights are blinking off it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm not going to lie. I think it's fantastic. It really is. And the kids love it, as you well know. I mean that if the kids are into it, it makes it even better. And the kids even the opposing kids go play there. They definitely notice it. It's something they talk about.
It's great, and then, again, it's all about the kids, number one. But it's so cool watching visiting teams come over with their putting their phones out and their videotaping and everything else. So it's not that blue Boise blue where it hits you in the face. We got a little two-tone stuff going, so it's a little cool.
It is. I've seen it.
Yep, no doubt about it. Bob, we appreciate you taking time. I know how busy it is this time of year, and again, we just enjoyed having you on, and again, wish you the best of luck on Saturday. And again, that game is live here on 1340 WJOL, 2:00 kickoff from Wheaton St. Francis as the Spartans host Providence Catholic. Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck.
Yeah, good luck, Bob.
Thanks, guys, for having me on. Take care.
You bet. Bob McMillan joins us, and again, great to have him on. And we talked about quite a resume on Bob McMillan. There's no doubt, and just a terrific guy. Gotten to know Bob over the last several years, and really through his older son, Bobby, who was a standout linebacker at Naperville Central, and then went on to Iowa State. Now he's an assistant coach, so he's definitely followed Dad footsteps, and I'm expecting TJ will end up. TJ's already committed to Illinois, so he will, I'm sure, follow in the family business as well, Joe.
Yes. Sounds like a good guy.
Yep.
I know when he retired, I believe he was the Arena League's all-time leading rusher. He's not anymore. He's fifth in the record book, but the Hall of Famer. And I mean, this is a guy who, like you said, his resume.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and and I think when he came back and took the job at St. Francis, I think a lot of people were surprised because he had some stuff going on, and I just and getting to know Bob, I think it was a family thing. I mean, it's just he had a younger family, kids growing up, and
some people have a really hard time with that, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, he had so much going on. Why would he want to stop now to be with his family? It's like,
well, you're in a glory job. Look at you. You're the afternoon voice in a decent market station. Is it? Don't you get all the wonderful perks? And why would you go do this? Why would you go do that? Well, the reality is everyone has their positives and not so positives, and you got to do what's best for you. And obviously, Bob did that. Be closer with his kids, and it's worked out. By the way, a couple of DMs I want to get to, and we appreciate the DMs as well. Scott Grant, who's the favorite in 4A, Joe?
Oh boy, well, it has to be Sacred Heart Griffin.
See, I think Scott Grant wanted to hear Rochester because I think Scott Grant wanted to hear that, but I'm kidding, Scott. By the way, I will be in Springfield tomorrow night with the one and the only Steve Susi. Do they have security?
They better.
For famous people in Springfield?
It's like the Beatles in Queens.
Do the Capitol Police come over and work as our security or what?
They're going to get you on 55. They're going to just escort you down.
Oh, yeah. I've been escorted more than a few times on 55, Coach. No doubt about it. And then we had another one that was asking about, can Naz stay close with Sycamore? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I totally think he
Yeah.
can. I've said early on that I think this could be Sycamore's best team that Joe has had to make a run. I still pick Naz to win.
But Naz is
I'm such a jerk. But
Naz is a lot like Providence.
very much so. Battle tested, got things figured out. And again, this is the Master 734 posted this. And if you know anything about Sycamore football, you know that their Achilles heel has been running in the Catholic schools in the postseason. And the closer this game is, the more those poor Sycamore people are going to be scared of the bejesus. Oh my God, we're going to get eliminated again by a Catholic school. I wouldn't be shocked either way.
Yeah.
I really think Sycamore could win this game. I'm taking Naz, but again, that's a coin flip. But I definitely think it can wind up being a close game.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Joe? Any other games out there that catch your attention? We got a minute or two left here.
Byron and IC.
IC, but close.
Okay.
Oh, you got your handy dandy sheet here. Let's fly through it.
All right.
All right. Joe, Loyola, York.
I'm going to pick Loyola.
Glenbard West. Lincoln Way East.
I'm picking East.
Me too. Mount Carmel, Rita.
Mount Carmel.
Carmel. Agreed. Batavia, Lake Zurich.
I'm going to go Batavia.
So am I. St. Ignatius, Prairie Ridge.
Prairie Ridge.
Don't bet against Prairie Ridge at home.
No.
Lamont, East St. Louis.
Much as I hate to say this, I love you guys. I'm going to go East St. Louis.
Will they hold up your pension check because of that or no?
They can't. I don't think they can, but you never know.
Because if they do, I will pick Lamont, but otherwise I'm going East St. Louis all day long.
All right.
Sycamore, Naz, Joe.
I'm going to pick Sycamore.
I'm going with Naz. Morris, Peoria.
Morris.
Yeah, me too. Leonard Bowl, Sacred Heart, Rochester.
Well, I already said Sacred Heart.
Kenny Leonard finishes it out, wins the state title, and moves on. Providence, St. Francis.
Providence.
Man, I can't pick against Providence.
Either
That's
can
really
not
tough.
now, the way they're playing.
We mentioned IC Byron, and that's about it. We're going to have to wrap it up. All right, for the coach, Joe Rodegaro, for Evan Bredesen.
Happy Thanksgiving,
I'm Edgy
everybody.
Tim. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Twitter, my website, everything else. We'll let you know when our finale show will be. In the meantime, thanks for watching. This is the semifinal edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Good night, everybody.